Hi, my name's Sergio Reyes. I'm the executive chef at this beautiful restaurant, Bar Rosso. Today we're going to be working on a seared scallop dish. The seared scallop is going to be served with a beautiful artichoke puree, some crispy prosciutto di Parma, a lemon garlic vinaigrette, and a beautiful arugula salad to garnish. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the scallops. Scallops, when you buy them fresh, usually come with the muscle attached to it called the abductor muscle. So I'm going to look around. This muscle right here, I'm going to disconnect from the scallop because once it's cooked, it's very tough and chewy. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a cold water bath and I'm going to dip the scallop into the water bath for about a second just to remove any sliminess that's on the outside layer of the scallop. Then I'm going to lay it on a toweled surface to dry out. So I'm going to pat them dry. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the prosciutto crisp garnish for the scallop. What I do is I take a sheet pan with parchment paper. I grease it with a little food spray. Then I layer the prosciutto. Then what I do is I spray the bottom of the sheet tray again. Then I'm going to layer it on top of the prosciutto. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it in a 425-degree oven for about 10 minutes. What I have heating here is our artichoke puree. We just took artichokes, sauteed them with a little bit of onions and garlic, and we pureed it down with a little chicken stock. Finish it off with a little salt, pepper, and lemon juice. Right about now, I'm going to start slowly heating up the pan for the sauteed scallop. It's always good to have a nice sear on the scallop, so the hotter the pan, the better for you. Now I'm going to start working on our lemon garlic vinaigrette. So a vinaigrette is pretty much an emulsion of acid with fat. So my acid is going to be the lemon. In order to create that emulsion, you need a stabilizer, which would be the eggs. So what I'm going to be using is 3 whole eggs and 2 egg yolks. I'm going to take 3 cloves of garlic, chop them very fine. Just want to chop it small enough that it can actually blend in with the eggs. I'm going to take 2 lemons. And I'm going to squeeze the lemon juice inside. I like to squeeze a lemon with the face facing up because it'll prevent the seeds from actually getting into the garlic. Place about a pinch of salt. And some crushed black pepper. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a stick blender. You can also use just a regular house blender. Obviously, you would break the ingredients into the blender itself. I'm going to start blending that. In order to emulsify it, when you add fat, you have to slowly add the fat. If not, the sauce will break. So I'm going to slowly add the fat. This is what the finished product looks like. You'll see it covers the back of your spoon very perfectly. So now that I have this hot saute pan, what I'm going to do is I'm going to season my scallops. Salt. And some crushed black pepper. Make sure before you put your scallops in the pan, they're dry, because if not, if they're a little wet, they will stick to the pan. Add a little bit of canola oil to coat the bottom of the pan. So now you see the smoke rising. You should lower the flame on your pan a little bit. Okay, make sure the surface is dry. Start placing your scallops in the pan one at a time. Don't be afraid to put your hands to the heat. Make sure you give your pan a little stir. Make sure they don't stick. What I like to do is I like to stir the scallop a little bit in the pan so you get an even color around the edges. So once you get a nice color on there, you can start turning them over. Add about a tablespoon of butter. This is what we call butter basting. This is where all the flavor comes with it. Start basting the scallops. You want firm texture to it, but also, like I said, you don't want them to be too dry or too firm and overcooked. After about 10 minutes, this is what the prosciutto looks like after you take it out of the oven. You know it's done. You get that nice dark rosy color on there. And it's also obviously crispy. You gotta let it set for a little bit so that it can get a little cold and it can get a little bit crispier. What I'm gonna do, place my scallops on a towel. Dry up for a little bit. Place in the oven. Very simple ingredients, but very strong flavors. The reason I developed this dish, so you have the artichoke puree, which I'm gonna lay at the bottom. It's got a very earthy flavor. It's got hints of lemon, pairs very well with lemon. Lay this in the bottom. And then obviously lemon and seafood, like peanut butter and jelly these days. Place the scallops down. Take some of those prosciutto crisps. Layer them right in between. Gives it height. Looks nice as presentation purposes. Get the saltiness of prosciutto, acidity in the lemon and artichoke. Take a little bit of the vinaigrette that we had made. Drizzle that on top, on the plate. Then take some arugula. Finish the scallops with a little bit of sea salt. And finally, this is the touch that we put on almost every plate in this restaurant, extra virgin olive oil. We get a really good, great Italian extra virgin olive oil. I think it helps balance all the flavors together, helps coat your palate so that once you take it in, it all goes in evenly. Nice drizzle there. There's your finished product.